Good morning, people. Happy Tuesday. This is Carrie Freeman, and welcome to My Left Ear. And if you are new, My Left Ear is a liberal YouTube channel. All opinions are mine. It's for entertainment purposes only. And then I add other things. I add some of my hypnotherapy work, and there are predictions here. I do runes and a few uplifting things, and I'm a storyteller. And there's a Patreon. So welcome. And this has to do with psychic commentary. I'm going to take a little water. I'm fine, but for some reason, my voice. Okay. And what do I call myself? I'm sort of a multi-person, but for our purposes, I call myself a change agent because I help people to change. I help people to get what they want and direct them in the right direction. And this is through intuitive coaching, psychic coaching, which is a very special process. And it is video 34 if you want to look at that. I'm also been a clinical hypnotherapist for over 20 years, and I combine both sometimes depending on what the client needs. So here we go. Today is a little bit shorter, I think. Sometimes I say that and then it goes over, but it really kind of has to be. I have one appointment, and then last week, which will be of no interest to you at all, but I just want to explain it. I got a notice from the California state tax, blah, blah, blah. And evidently I didn't report the books I sold between a year, 21 to 22. And I went, oh my God. So what it turned out to be is an enormous amount of work. I mean, unbelievable. So every day I'm doing this paperwork, and just to give you an idea, I have to go through all the books I sold in California. I have to find the county and what that county charges in sales tax. And then I have to, that's just one thing. So there you go. And I have to count up how many books I sold out of state. And it's taking up my whole week. That's why this is shorter. So let me get on with it, and that's what I want you to know. It's a tax deadline. All right, I want to just share with you something that Zelensky said last night. And it's just so positive, and there's a lot of energy behind it that I just want to share it. So a lot of this is going to be sharing and a little commentary and more my left ear. I didn't explain this to the new people, but I get psychic information through this side. And it's like, it just tells me things. I know I don't hear voices. It's like a sentence. It's like a silent sentence. And it comes really fast when it's correct. All right, so Zelensky last night said, if they want to survive, it is time for the Russian military to flee, go home. If they do not listen to me, they will deal with our defenders, who will not stop until they liberate everything that belongs to Ukraine. And he additionally said, we're taking Crimea back too. And it has such great energy. And because all these European unions are behind him, because this isn't just an attack on Ukraine, they can't win because it affects everybody. So all the good guys are invested, and Zelensky knows this. And my goodness, Zelensky is brilliant. A man I admire. All right, so I'm hoping you'll get a kick out of this. I tweeted this morning. And you know that this is truth, but I do use a little humor. So this is what I said. Thank you, SCOTUS. Through shock, pain, and anguish, you stupid, all-powerful, compromised, bad word, delivered the blue tsunami in November. Ha! And they did. Isn't that the irony? Because my left ear knows it's a blue tsunami. And all the pundits like to say, well, you know, this is the midterms, the opposite always wins. Well, that's changing, my friends. And you, GOP, thank the Supreme Court that you allowed Mitch and Trump to set up, and the very compromised, money-grabbing Supreme Court. So this was Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett, who I like to call Phony Barrett. So no choice. They came down with this out of the blue. We're just going to end Roe v. Wade. We're gonna torture 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds who've been attacked through incest and are pregnant. We're just going to take it all away from you. If a woman has an ectopic pregnancy and she's bleeding out, she might die. It's only a matter of time. So I just said the no choice became a referendum, has become a referendum, and a catalyst with a capital C for thrusting all women, even GOP women, into a healthcare crisis. As a result, more females have registered to vote in huge numbers. I know I'm right about this, so feel good about that. And, you know, my sarcasm has no apologies. My swear word, which I'm not saying on YouTube, has no apologies, because the suffering, the fear, the trauma that has been unleashed upon women, and especially low-income women, is a tragedy. And that's going to get fixed. We're going to codify after the blue tsunami. We're going to fix voting after the blue tsunami. I mean, it's going to be amazing what Joe Biden, one of the hardest working presidents ever, one of the most proactive presidents ever, that's only thinking about you and me. And it reminds me of a quote I heard about 2 weeks ago. It was from a professor, don't remember his name, but he said, I'm going to simplify this for you. Republicans value money and things. Democrats value people. And I think that sums it up, okay? I'm just going to briefly mention this. There's all this talk about the special master, Trump wants a special master. It's just going to slow things up. The special master is supposed to go through the paperwork, and but because the request for the special master was like 2 weeks late, our brilliant DOJ went in and answered all the questions. And this DOJ has, they're going to write 40 pages of a response, and they have until Thursday to submit it. I will bet on the DOJ. But don't be worried about the special master. It's like a bleep, and it's a little delay, all right? It was really cool that they were ahead. The DOJ was ahead, and they're gonna just nail it with this 40-page response. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about Trump for a minute. I'm attributing a lot of this to Glenn Kirshner, okay? One of our best. That he talked about a young woman named Labarello, called her Miss Labarello. She evidently, she had a high position. She took one document to her hotel room to work on it. She was not a spy or anything like that, but she took the doc. And she is serving 4 years in prison. And as Glenn Kirshner said, because he has this nice dry sense of humor, while Miss Labarello is spending 4 years in prison for one document, Trump has a tea time on the golf course. Now I'm like enraged by that. And if anybody doesn't know what a tea time is, it's simply the appointment you make to tee up and start your 18 rounds of golf, all right? And then I can't remember whether it was Glenn who said this, so I want to be very careful, but one of these really great attorneys, pundits, said, we pandered to Trump. We gave him latitude. We negotiated, catered, implored, and begged him endlessly to return the documents. And Trump is still free 18 months later. So he got special treatment. He got tiptoe treatment. And it is so wrong. It's coming though, you know, it's coming. All right, so I did do one set of runes. And I am gonna, and I did this on Stacey Abrams, Georgia, who's running for governor, should be Brian Kemp, who now Trump has turned on Brian Kemp because Brian Kemp would not say that the election was a lie. So now Trump is attacking Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp is pure GOP and he's no hero. Now, he beat Stacey Abrams last time, and she's back. And I think we all know what a strong woman she is, what a smart woman she is. So I just wanted to get some feedback. I am going to address Ron DeSantis and Charlie Crist in my next video. I really just want to not be in a hurry of any kind, so never fear. But Stacey, something told me, ear told me, take a look. All right. So the first rune I got was the rune of separation. And let me just give you a little piece of this. Old skins need to be discarded. A peeling away is called for. And what my left ear is interpreting here, the peeling away and the separation, we believe, has to do with peeling away her old and previous life as she moves into the governorship, all right? I didn't look at the polls today, and I don't know what they are. I think Kemp is a little bit ahead of her, which worries me to no end. All right, so now the second rune, separation, I haven't finished yet. It is a rune of acquisition and benefits. Okay. However, and my screen blew up. You know, this happens to me every week. Here we go. However, the benefits that she receives may be derived from something she must give up, and that would be a whole new thing for her to step into the governorship in Georgia. The separation called for will free her to become more of who she is, which is a powerful force for good and politics. Then I got harvest. Harvest. This is what harvest looks like, just for the heck of it. It has no reverse. Beneficial outcomes, people. And it says, for those whose labor has been a long time in operation, and hers has, this rune offers encouragement of success. That's all I'm going to say. And then the last one was warrior upright. And it is the rune of the spiritual warrior. And I consider Stacey Abrams a spiritual warrior. It has a sword-like quality that will enable her to cut away the old, the dead, the extraneous, and that goes back to the first rune of separation. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think she has a really good chance, and part of it is because of this blue that's coming, etc., etc. So we will see. I'm just putting myself out on the limb right there. And this is from my left ear, all right? No runes. I just went, okay, that's obvious, that's obvious, that's obvious. And when it's not, I'll share it with you. So I'm going to go through a list designed to make you feel good. Val Demings is going to beat Marco Rubio and take over a Senate seat in Florida. Karen Bass, Los Angeles, will become the mayor. Beto O'Rourke clearly is going to become the governor of Texas. And I am so excited for the people of Texas. They deserve this really fabulous, caring leader. And he has grown and grown and grown, and he is very impressive. Beto, as they like to say, Beto. Go Beto, such a good man. Now I'm gonna come to Charlie Crist, who is gonna fight DeSantis for governorship of Florida. I have a good feeling about Charlie Crist, even though DeSantis is a tough one to crush. Already, like immediately, Charlie Crist has come out of, you know, the horse barn, and he's really doing it correctly. Everything that he says is spot on. He has on purpose, which is fine with me, has taken on a kind of a Biden style and a Biden energy. I think this is partly who he is, but I also think he's really smart. So much smarter than DeSantis, who I feel is horribly dangerous. I mean, he's seriously dangerous and scary. He's a tyrant, he's a fascist, he's a racist, and on and on. He is Darth Vader of Florida. So, I don't know for sure yet. And I'm going to wait. I'll do DeSantis. I'll do Crist. I just have this very good feeling about Charlie Crist. Smart, smart, smart. Everything he's doing. And everything DeSantis is doing is just worse and worse and worse. One scary guy. And I bet if Ron DeSantis was evaluated by several high-level psychiatrists, psychologists, he'd have like 4 or 5 personality disorders. He's a power-hungry guy. Mark Kelly in Arizona is going to win again. John Fetterman, who's just made cream of wheat of Dr. Oz. It's extraordinary. And my feeling about Dr. Oz was that he was given a load of money to run. He's so not engaged. And I read the tweets, and someone else on his staff is writing the tweets. They're lame, they're stupid, they're uninspiring. And John Fetterman has this amazing sense of humor, and he just keeps nailing Dr. Oz. Fetterman's way ahead. Josh Shapiro will be the next governor of Pennsylvania. Mastriano is dust, all right? Gretchen Whitmer, who was down, and now she's way up. She's going to remain governor of Michigan. Raphael Warnock is going to keep his seat in the Senate for Georgia. Herschel Walker, people are recognizing there is something wrong with him. And I just have a feeling it comes from a lot of concussions. And then Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes is going for a Senate seat in Wisconsin, and he will beat the really stupid Ron Johnson, who loves to talk about cutting Medicare, Social Security from seniors. I mean, how stupid, how stupid. It's so stupid that GOP contenders are taking their opinions about this and Roe v. Wade off their websites so that they look more neutral. I intend to find out the names of the candidates, the GOP candidates that have wiped their websites of this stuff. And I want to call them out, and I'm going to call them out. And then I've got to guess my left ear. I haven't done the runes, but I will, on Carrie Lake, the extremist harpy who wants to be the governor of Arizona. I want to say she fights hard, and, you know, she's a little toughy, but I think the tides have turned. And without the reversal of Roe v. Wade, she might have won. But now the women, and I guess she's a woman. That's a joke. But I'll do the runes on her. I just think, I'm not sure she's going to become the governor, which would be fantastic, all right? I want to bring up something, and I'm putting it at the end because sometimes by the end, people just like get bored. But I had talked about my accident with my toe, which I think I told you was fractured. I went to the foot doctor. He said it's going to take about 3 more weeks for the bone to actually heal, and then the swelling is going to be, could be up to 6 months. And I'm still in pain, and I want to thank, I'm not going to do names yet because I want to talk to her, wonderful subscriber that has made this organic pain cream, all natural, with her husband, and it's a business. So she sent me some. So that was like some good evidence, and I'm using it, and it's helping. But I want to talk with her about telling you about it so I get all the facts straight, and that'll happen early next week. But thank you. Just thank you. Now, my accident. There was a doctor that has passed away, and he was at like New York City Hospital, and at one point they had him on Nightline, the TV show Nightline, and he wrote a lot of books about healing your back, but there was a principle that made him so different, and I read a couple of his books, and I used his technique, which helped me every time my lower back went out, which has not gone out for a really long time. Like, I can't even remember. But John Sarno, and when they had him on Nightline, a lot of celebrities came on and said, he just saved me, he saved me. So in one of his books, he actually says that you can look at an MRI or a CT scan or whatever it would be to look at someone's vertebrae, their back, their lower back, their issues. And a person can actually have all these conditions and have no symptoms and no pain. Isn't that wild? So he suggests when the back, or did suggest, when the back goes out, it's the brain, and this is my area, the subconscious, that is trying to distract that individual from the issues they don't want to look at. So it's a big distraction, because if your back goes out, you don't really think about anything else. It's so debilitating and painful, okay? Now, I've had MRIs, and I don't have like a terrible story, but I have a lot of conditions. I don't feel the conditions. I just haven't felt them in years, but they're there. Stenosis and this and that. John Sarno had clients, it's in his books, start talking to their back. Like maybe you're in the shower, and this is kind of what you would say. I know what you're doing, and I want to thank you for distracting me. I know you're doing me a favor, but I will face the issues. So you don't have to remind me. You can take the discomfort away, because I'm aware that I'm being distracted, and I'll deal with it. I'm strong enough, so thank you. I know what's going on, and I will face the underlying issues of my life. All right, now we get to banging your foot into a dresser or anything else that seems like an accident. Not like someone hitting you with their car, but something that just happens when you're alone. And it's not 100%, but I feel now, and I know what had been going on in my life that I just really don't feel like sharing, where I needed distracting. And it took me a few days to figure out this was just like John Sarno's thing. And I went, oh, okay. Because the accident was like kind of freaky. And when I went to urgent care and I went to the doctor, and generally speaking, bone doctors don't have a lot of warmth or sense of humor. So when I went to the urgent care, that doctor was a love. How did this happen? I said, well, my dresser got in the way. And there was a moment, and then he knew it was humor. Well, then I went to the foot specialist, and I told him, like, he had no idea I was being humorous. And I went, it's a joke. It's okay. It's a joke. But I want to give you this idea. If you could ask yourself, when you have pain or a little accident like did, what do I need to be distracted of? And I actually felt my brain readjust when I had the accident, because the focus went off the things I was fretting about, because I was in pain. So someone said, you know, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I thought, I kept forgetting, but I know people check out. And so I'm kind of giving you this little thing about accidents at the end. And now we're to good evidence. I had 2 young men from the Geek Squad come and install a TV in my bedroom. And PD, who loves people, who loves a visitor, and doesn't get to engage with men too much, fell in love with the 2 guys. He got on the bed, and he was like rolling around and getting a lot of attention. And both guys were like, we've never met a cat like that. And I said, I know. He's exceptionally social. And so one of the guys started petting him and just got such a kick out of Pete. He made me very proud. He was just such a good host. But the geek guy said, I really want to get a cat, and I'm so worried about, I've got new furniture. And so I just started talking with him about getting a cat. And he goes, I can't declaw. And I said, I don't think the vets will do it, but I believe there are probably already declawed cats that need adoption. And he said, where? So I said, you know what? Let me just do a little research and I'll text you. So I gave him some contacts. I did some research for him. I gave him some contacts. He was such a nice guy. And Avi was his name, or is his name. And I texted him, try this, try this. This place may give you information about a declawed cat. And he just wrote me back, thank you so much, Carrie. And that was just a good evidence thing. I helped the guy out, and they were great. And they got the 5 stars when Geek Squad got in touch with me for an evaluation. And now we get to the quotes, and then I gotta run. And I did the same amount of time. This isn't shorter, but I'll get to my appointment soon enough. This is anonymous, but I love it. You may have heard it. Small minds talk about people, big minds talk about ideas. Isn't that great? Small minds talk about people, big minds talk about ideas. So then I have 2 more for you today. This is from The Godfather 3, the film. Politics and crime, ... They are the same thing. It's a pretty cynical quote, but I think it's appropriate to right now to the GOP. Oh, I guess that's all. I just had 2 quotes. Sorry. And then I can't be back until after Friday, and I get this tax thing because I am buried in this paperwork. But I will touch down over the weekend, and I will do a Patreon over the weekend. Thanks for your patience. And I will announce that in the community section. So I always provide information. Sometimes I get fantastic reviews on the work I do with psychic coaching, and I post them up there too with permission now. And I don't identify anybody. And from this point forward, I ask for permission. One last thing. I also get good evidence stories from you. And I want to know if I can post. I already got permission from one woman who had a great story about her grandson. I want to, the feedback I get, if I do get it from you, your stories, I will there's a special section of the new book that has real life, good evidence stories. I fill up a lot of that myself because of everything I've accumulated, but I do get some great feedback from you. So you can send me the story at carriesleftear@gmail.com. And again, all my information is below and above in community. Have a great week. And I can't think of anything to say other than peace and blessings. Make peace, make memories, good memories. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.